you. So
yeah, can you put it like this?
I got it. Yeah.
So my name is Chris, this is Brian. We also called PREVENT, right? Within
Counter-terrorism.
policing. People think the word counter-terrorism, they think all this, but it's not. Our role is far down the river, we say, I suppose.
Okay.
You don't want any trouble at all.
No.
I know you kind of put your protests and post stuff online.
Oh yeah, I do.
It's all legal and stuff.
Yeah,
Again, it's fine, and everyone's got a right in this country to have their own political opinion, of course, and peaceful protests, etc.
Yeah.
Our job is just to make sure that people understand how to keep themselves safe and they don't cross our line into criminality. That's our job, to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble.
That's fine. That's good. That's actually good.
Because our job is preventive. We work with a lot of people who kind of go to protests, put stuff online, and sometimes they put something on which they don't realise is criminal sometimes, and then get themselves in trouble with the police. So our job is to stop that. Don't come into the criminal space. I don't know what the better word really is. It I get it. And we get a lot of from all ages. You know, young people who go online, put stuff online, and they don't realise that they put support for different organisations around the world. And then they get done for,
I get it,
promoting terrorism or supporting terrorism, that kind of stuff. I'm not saying you do that.
No, that's fine. That's
our kind of remit, basically. So the reason why we popped out is because, you've been to some protests and things.
I have, yes.
Somebody said you're entitled to your view. It's just to make sure you don't overstep that line and to make sure you know to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I'll be honest with you, I have had a lot of issues and I have reported that to the police. Right. I've received an email from Mark Jones in Swansea. He's a police officer looking after a case that it was one of the protests that I've been to where I had a problem with the pro-Palestinian people, and they were like being hostile towards me. So I did report it, and this was like almost 2 months ago. But I have received an email. Like, the police is really good. They have been helping me. Like I said, he's been on it. He's emailing me, giving me updates, letting me know what's going on. So in that case, I've always been fine. But I do have a lot of issue with the Muslim community, with the Bangladeshi community, which is from the Swansea Mosque and EYST. Do you know EYST? It's an organization. A lot of people work in there. One of them is called Junaid Nikki. Like, he's going around giving out my personal details. Obviously, not many people know that I live here because I've changed very recently. But this one, he's going on, and he got some of his colleagues who have, who knows my details, my personal, like my name, my family members' names, and they're just giving out.
Why is it not actually think? Can you argue with them before?
No, I haven't argued. The thing is, I haven't argued with anything. And good thing is you're here today because I do have the recording. So I used to play basketball in Gaur College with these Bangladeshi Muslims community, and I went to the Tommy Robinson protest on in October, that was in London. So I came back and I thought I'll do a post where I said, because a lot of the Muslim people, they have this thinking, the moment a white person says something that they don't agree on, he's a racist. Like, let's say you guys turned up here today, I could very easily post a video and say, hey, guess what, guys, I'm a Muslim guy, these two racists turned up today and they've done, people do that. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. So anyways, this was the concept that I've seen so much. So I thought I'll report it from my honest opinion. So I went there and I said, look, everybody that I have met from the Tommy Robinson organization, none of them came across racist or fascist. And if anything, they were very supportive. They were like, we understand you're an immigrant in the country. If anything, if you have any problems or if you have heard anything that people have said, or Tommy Robinson have said, he hate all the Muslims. He said, we'll clear it up. And I've actually asked Tommy Robinson, I said to him, look, man, I am an immigrant. You can hear from my accent. What do you think about me? And I'm Muslim. And he said, I've got no problem. He said, did you came in on a boat? I said, no, I came illegally. He said, then why would I have a problem with you? I said, exactly that. I said, that's what I wanted to know.
Spoke to him personally?
I spoke to him personally. I met him, I had actually met him.
Where was that?
So that was when I went to pick some of my friends up from Luton, and he was there. So I ran into him and I said, look, man, I need to have a word with you. And he said, yeah, that's fine. He said, I'll speak to you as long as you're respectful. Because he didn't know me, so I just turned up to him. And he's like, if you're respectful, I don't mind. So I spoke to him, and he was very, very polite. And he was honest. Like I said, that's a straightforward guy. And he told me exactly as it is. And I said, and there are a lot of other people that support him. And I asked them the same question. What do you think about me being an immigrant in your country? What do you feel and how do you feel? They said, we don't mind. You're abiding by the law. I said, yeah, look, I've been here 10 years. I never have had any issues with the police. There is no criminal record, either in the UK or in Saudi Arabia where I used to live. I had no issues. So he said to me, as long as you're a good law-abiding citizen, why do we care? And I was like, that's all I need to know. So after that, I posted on my Twitter highlighting that, look, not every white person is a racist, is a fascist. You know, yes, there are police, there are problems with the police, but not everybody in the police is bad as well. There are plenty of good police officers. Like I said, Mark Jones in Swansea, he is actually one of them. He is a very, very good guy. Like he will call me all the time. He will give me updates. He will let me know what's going on. And I think that's what the public needs. So anyways, I posted that, and that was my opinion. But being a Muslim and an immigrant, the only hate that I saw, because a lot of people seen it. Almost over 4,000 people seen that. Me saying that not all white people are racist. Not Tommy Robinson is not a racist. He's not a fascist. And I think what he's doing, he's just doing because he's a patriot to the country. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So when I did that, the Muslim community came after me. It wasn't the white people, it wasn't the fascists and the racists that they said the far right, none of them. It was the lefties who came after me. They start posting pictures of me online. They start posting pictures of my family members online and giving out my address and saying, this is the guy where he lives, you know, find him and do what you need to do. They have, so these mosques, the Swansea Mosque have, the Swansea Mosque along with EYST, affiliated with Cardiff Mosque, I don't know all of it, but they have showed me messages on WhatsApp group, which they've called the far right watch list. And they have put me on top of the list, even beyond Tommy Robinson. See, they call Tommy Robinson racist, but they put me above him, saying that this guy we need to be careful of. When they say we need to be careful of, they mean if you see him anywhere, you attack him, you shout at him, there's no problem. I go out with my family members anywhere to eat. They send me pictures of me saying that, oh, we know you were here, and I can show it to you. I don't mind. I've got everything, and I've got the report. I haven't reported all of it. I have reported some of it, but it was the fact that, oh, because these are fake accounts, we can't do anything. I know who these people are hiding behind the fake accounts, but obviously, unless you guys, you know, with your intelligence that you have, if you can look into these accounts, follow them from their IP addresses, follow them who they are, more than happy, I'll give you everything. I can give you my phone.
Is that why you moved, or you was moving anyway?
No, I was moving anyways. I'm not afraid of these people. I'm not afraid of these people at all. And you see the flag on my car, the Union Jack, and the Welsh flag on the top of my hood. The thing is...
Welsh flag on top?
Yeah, you didn't see that. Yeah, it's on the top. Yeah, if you see the Welsh flag as well, wherever I take my car, when these Muslims, they see it, these Bengali Muslims from the Swansea, they see it, they are angry. If I was scared of them, I would take it off. I will never change my car. I will never change anything. I will support and I will continue doing what I believe in, which is right. As long as, like you said, you're not crossing that line.
That's your issue. We just want to make sure.
No, and that is fine. I've never crossed the line. I won't cross the line. But the problem is now with these guys, they're threatening me all left, right, and center. I can send you literally every day they wake up, they go to sleep. All they do, putting out misinformation about me. Letting people know where I live. So when I used to go play basketball with these Muslims, they all came. It was 8 of them. 7 of them were Muslims. One of the guy was a Welsh guy, right? He didn't know what was going on. But anyways, they didn't stop them from calling me racist and everything. And then they said, this is what they said to me: we will let you play basketball with us if you delete your X and delete your YouTube. I said, I'm not going to do that. I said, I'm absolutely not going to do that. And I recorded the whole recording because I was there for 45 minutes and I did not know what was going on. So I have messages, I know the guys, and if you want to speak to them, I've got their numbers and everything.
You need to keep reporting it.
Well, I haven't reported it because I wasn't sure what to do with it. But I am telling you now, I have recorded. If you need, I'll give it to you. It's a 45-minute long recording.
The BCU officers would deal with that.
That's fine. I will report it.
No, report it because, you know, that's not honest. You've been
all
the time.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, the other thing for me, I just don't retaliate is the best thing. I don't put stuff, you know, about them online because it becomes tit for tat.
Yeah, no, but I don't do tit for tat. The thing is, look, I said,
yeah,
the first thing I did. Yeah, no, I agree with you. But the first thing I did was I just reported the facts. So it's just like, look, if somebody says, if I got a white friend and somebody's telling me, oh, he's a racist, okay, I'll listen to them. But if I know my friend for longer than 10, 20 years, how can I believe that he's a racist when he's a friend of mine? So I feel it was my duty to report, yes, Tommy Robinson is not racist. The people that he supported, the people support him are absolutely not racist. So if that was the case, and this is all I've done, so you can tell, it's not crossing a line. It's literally absolutely nothing. It's just me saying, if somebody says you're a racist, and I'm saying, no, you're not a racist, because I know this guy. I have met this guy. How can you say he's a racist when I'm telling you he's not? So that's all I did. And they thought it was in their right to come after me, to call me names, kicking me out of, they kicked me off the basketball team. I don't care about that. But the fact is, the issue is the moral issue that I can't say what is right, but if they say or they think what is right, you have to accept it. But I'm not going to do that at all. I don't do that. And with the protesting, when we had one in Swansea, when I went there, it was literally 5 of us. And it wasn't a protest. We were just there. We're just saying, look, you guys got your opinion. You see the protest season every other day. I literally, whenever I go into town, I see them everywhere. And I don't like going into town because the thing is, they like to get in your way. They like to say, you need to believe what we are saying. If you don't believe that, then either you're a racist or you don't care about what's going on around the world. So why is it that I can't tell them, look, I don't care about Palestine, I don't care about Israel, I want to live my life in the UK, I do care about the UK and that's it. Why can I not do that? Because I would like to live a peaceful life. I've got bills to pay, I've got, work to be at, I need it to be places to be, so please forgive me. Yeah, exactly. And that's
I'm not saying that's wrong at all.
And that's what it is. That's when I tell them, look, forgive me if I don't want to get involved with you guys, just because I'm a Muslim and I'm a Pakistani. I don't want to do that because it doesn't bother me. So that's when they come after me. They hit me with the flag. They do everything. Yeah, they've done all of these things.
Do you want them first, or they want you? And
no, the thing is, if I be honest with you, if you have been into town in your plain clothes, not as a police officer, you know these people get in your face. Right. It's simple as that. Like, if somebody gets in my face as living in the UK in a free country, I would tell them, don't get in my face. And if they say, so what you're doing for Palestine? I'll say, absolutely nothing. Why would I do anything? Why do I need to do anything when I've got my own problems, when I've got my own, things that I'm dealing with? Why would I even care about someone else's problem when I've got plenty of my own? So yeah, these are the things, and I do understand your head, and I hope you do go to the Swansea Mosque and EYST and let these people know as well. Look, guys, you have your right to have your opinion. Let these people have their right to have their own opinion.
You still practice with the mosque now, and
no, I used to go, but I do practice now in my home. I don't go to the mosque, and there's a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is behind this that I don't want to go and do anything and get them all riled up, and then they start something, because I'm not going to back down. They can be 8, they can be 10. I'm not going to just sit there and let them say anything to me. So that's to stop that. That's why I've stopped it. But again, which I think, if this is the case, then the Swansea Mosque and any Islamic school should be shut down in the UK, because if it's not like I don't know if you're a Christian, you guys Christian, but if you go to a church, you will be welcome. They won't say, oh, just because you have a different opinion, you're not welcome here. But in the mosque, this is what it is. You either hate the white people, you either hate the Christians, you either hate the Christians. If you don't do that, you're not welcome in the mosque. So yes, these are hateful places and they should be shut down. This is 100% my opinion.
This one mosque in particular you're talking
about? Swansea Mosque, because that is the one that I've dealt with.
So not across the UK?
Well, I won't say across the UK, but I would say in every city in the UK, there should only be one mosque. And I'll tell you why. Because when all the Muslims are going to just one mosque, and if there is something dodgy going on in there, I'm sure out of the 100, 200 Muslims, someone will be like me and he will report. He will say, look, you know what, this is what's going on in the mosque and this is not right. But if you have plenty of mosques, what they do, this is what they've done. I can't go to the Swansea Mosque without them either retaliating or being hostile towards me. And then whatever is going on now, I can't tell. Because before there were things going on and I will speak against that, they didn't like that. They're like, oh, you are not a Muslim. And I like, you can say what you want to say. I honestly couldn't care. But yeah, when you say, yes, I am 100% sure and this is my opinion and I stand on it. If you want to have controlled in a way that we don't have these terrorists, we don't have these brainwashing, we don't have these kind of things going on that everybody's a racist and a fascist, yes, you need to decrease the amount of mosque and the Islamic schools out there. And I say this as a Muslim. I am a Muslim myself. I would love to go to the mosque, but how can I go to the mosque in a place where I don't feel safe? Why would I? And why shouldn't I feel safe? In UK, this is a free country. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, we can have a different opinion, and we can still sit down and have a cup of tea. Who's stopping that?
You said it's wrong on your opinion. I was going to say right.
Well, I know, and unfortunately, it's not the far right people that a lot of people have made it look like in the mainstream media, or it's the white people, it's the Christian people, or it's the far. It's not them. It's not them. It is actually the Muslims.
It's not the same Tommy Robinson and that groups, other far right groups have got underlying kind of messages of yours.
Yeah, no, but you will always see Tommy Robinson go against them. You always say, if you are a racist, and look, I have been to his demonstration. The message was clear, and they have said, if we see anybody being racist, because like you said, if you've got a crowd of 20, 30,000 people, of course there will be people with, with different mentalities. Like you said, yes, there are racism everywhere, but if there are people like Tommy Robinson and his right-hand man, people like him, people like that I know personally, they are calling out and they say, no, you can't be racist to him just because he's a Muslim and he's an immigrant. No, you can't be racist to him. So you need to, people need to see that. And like I said, look, I'm glad that you're here today. Because honestly, with everything that's going on, I just don't know what to do. Like I'm telling you these things, I haven't reported half of it.
Yeah, you need to report things.
I will report
it. Make a better picture then and try and,
of course.
There are ways of tracking who, it depends, they're not very technical with that kind of stuff. There are ways sometimes of tracking who send these messages.
Oh no, I know, yeah, there were the police officers that said to me.
And stuff and things, it takes time, but there are ways and means of looking into things. But it's something, if you're feeling that harassed and it's a daily, definitely need to report it because of, it could be many offences.
Chris said we're from a different, we're from Prevent, so we're pre-criminal space, we call it. So we try and if we come across individuals who we see maybe become susceptible to becoming radicalised, going on the wrong path, we try and step in to pull them out before they get into that realm of crossing the line of criminality.
I hope that you go to the Swansea Vault, because there are a lot of criminals there, and EYST, a lot of criminals there.
In a CT perspective, is why we are here. You know, it's been brought to our attention because of the rallies you've attended and stuff like that. It's your right to do that, obviously. It's quite a unique situation for yourself. You know, which we appreciate. It's everybody's right to do that. Your British values seem to be, you know, sound, and is what you're following British values? Is
I'm in a British country.
Exactly.
I'm in the UK. I will follow the British values.
So where are you working at the moment?
Well, I was working at the Swansea Council, but they fired me because of all these things, and that was again the complaint that went from the mosque and the people working at EYST, calling me a racist. And another thing was the police officer actually turned to my workplace. That's where it went bad. They turned to my workplace. And they were looking for me, and they were telling people they were looking for a guy called Shoaib, and he's a racist. Obviously, this happened on a Tuesday, well, in October. I think it was October and Tuesday. Yeah, that happened, and nobody told me. Like, I was home, I was living in a place. Like, you guys found me easy. You know, I'm not hiding from anybody. And even this is my new address. My old address was there for 4 years. But anyways, on Friday, I got a call from my boss telling me that, oh, you know what? You need to come into the office because we need to have a word with you. And I said, is everything okay? They said, no, the police officer turned up on Tuesday and they were looking for you, saying that, oh, you know, you've been racist or something like that. And I said, okay, I haven't heard anything from the police. They haven't called me. They haven't turned up to my address. I haven't gotten any email. Absolutely no contact with the police. And I said, okay. So I went to that rally I was actually on my way to London. So I attended that on a Saturday, came back on Saturday night. First thing I did, went to the Swansea police station on Sunday, and I said, I heard you guys were looking for me. Like, you know, you are looking for me, but here I am coming back to you, asking you why you're looking for me, because nobody have contacted me other than turning up to my workplace, and now you've told everybody that I'm a racist without any proof. So that's what I said, but I thought they must have a proof. You know, if you're turning up someone's house, you would have a proof why you turning up to their place. So I spoke to the police officer. My solicitor was there as well. So when we spoke to the police officer, he literally said this: somebody called in and complained and said that you were being racist online. And I said, okay, what is it that they said? Oh no, they didn't give us anything. So I said, so you mean if I call now and I don't like my neighbor and I say, hey, you know, that guy John is being racist to me, can you turn up to his workplace? This is where he works. So I didn't turn up. They're like, no. Then I said, why do you turn up to my workplace without any evidence? And honestly, from then till today, I haven't heard anything in relation to that. And they did say, oh, we'll apologize, we'll send you an apology letter. I don't need the apology letter. The thing is, you've done what you were not supposed to do, turn up to my workplace. And obviously since then, it was like I was a racist. So any phone call was coming in there, they dismissed me. And they literally fired me within a day. So yeah, so no, I don't have a job. And obviously in Swansea now, these mosques and people from EYSC have put out that I'm a racist. Like I said, there is a Facebook profile where they have my name and everything on top of there by calling me racist, and without any evidence, they just put out there. And this is something that they share across Swansea, because Swansea is not that big. And now I'm applying for jobs, nobody's getting back to me. And there was a time when I applied for 3 jobs in the Swansea Council, and I did interview for all 3, and I got all 3, and then I chose which one was the best paid for me to choose from. So like, going from that to now literally no jobs whatsoever is coming back to me, not even telling me why is it that I've been rejected, nothing. Yeah. So I do think it is a bit unfair. You know, like I said, it was my opinion. And they've...
What's your specific skill set?
So, well, I am in HR, I do finances, I do IT, and I'm in business management. So I used to work for Volkswagen Financial Services in Milton Keynes. I used to work for Open University in Milton Keynes. And I used to work for HSBC in Swansea, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So I've got customer service skills and sales skills. So I've like majority. And when I was working in the Swansea Council, I was supposed to be an admin, but then I was doing work for them for the HR, doing the payroll. I used to do majority of I've done different kind of work. And like I said, I've been working since I've been in the UK since 6 years. So because I don't get any benefits, 6 years that I've been working. Yeah. So and I don't get any benefits. So now that I don't have jobs, anything that I'm paying for is from the savings, whatever we've got left. Yeah. So we don't get there is absolutely no help from the universal credit, and I don't mind that because I am an immigrant. and it says on my BRP, which is the biometric resident permit, that I'm not entitled to any state benefit, which is fine. I don't mind that, as long as I had the job. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if I was dismissed because I didn't do the job right, I'll be fine. But I've got a certificate that I received a month before I got dismissed from a job, being one of the best worker in the council, and I've got this certificate to prove that. Right. So you know, it is crazy what's going on. So yeah.
So you're going through any unfair dismissal processes with the council? Or?
See, again, like I said, I don't get any help, and I'm really short on money to actually go to lawyers. I have called, like, you know, the free helpline and the citizen advice. I've spoken to them, but because I've been ill last week and a half, so I was just waiting for me to get a little bit better. But yeah, I haven't as such, but I have messaged quite a few people asking them what could be the process, where is it that I can get some sort of help. So yeah, I am in the process of that, but nothing legally happened as of yet.
So, yeah, it must be like stress from your home, and you know.
Well, yeah, you can see a new home, and yeah, this is what they've put me in a place. So you know, and then these people worry that why people hate them. Like the thing, I still don't hate them, but I hate the fact that they think they got the right to tell me what is right and what is wrong. When I am a grown man, I've got my own opinion, and you know, even if they are a stupid opinion, they're irrelevant opinion, it's my opinion. You know, I'm not literally out there in the street and saying, hey guys, follow what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying what I see and how I feel. That's all it is. But these people, for some reason, don't seem to like that. Yeah.
Like, as I said from us from our team, we just don't want to see you cross that line. Maybe we don't realise it. Like, getting yourself in trouble, don't even.
So, is there anything specific you have seen that you think I should or shouldn't do? Like, obviously, talking about the demonstration, I will be attending demonstration. Like, you know, there are loads of police there, they can see I'm not hostile.
It's a human right to peaceful protest and your political opinions and everything and stuff, you know, there's no issues with that at all. It's your prerogative, and you said your human rights. It's just people want to make sure you don't, unfortunately, cross that line without realising, that's all.
But if I don't know what the line is,
I don't know. That's why I'm going to go on to know what we in our kind of service, what we tend to do is we work with what's called intervention providers. Home Office approved. We're trained in loads of different areas, from right-wing, extreme right-wing, Islamist, everything really. The theological base, and they've got some fantastic ones in the box. Well, they tend to left-wing, they know far more than us, police officers, and their job then is, if we identify someone who maybe wants some support or to talk.
So is this something that came to your attention? Something I did, something I said?
No, I mean, we had an anonymous referral, I believe, but it was just because we posted stuff online, so it may have been someone from the Mosque, I don't know who it was from, but then obviously then we had...
definitely from the Mosque, 100%.
And then he said about the protest.
Is it recording? Can you see the numbers on top?
Yeah, it's recording. I'm not sure who it was, I don't know, to be honest. But
no, it's anonymous.
Yeah, and then there was stuff then about, obviously, you attended the protest, and then so you kind of built up a little bit of a picture, and maybe we need to take a look at you just to make sure you're right and keeping safe. But yeah, so in relation to the IPs, so they're highly trained kind of individuals, really, and their job is to sit down really with people and have a chat with them.
Unless I know exactly what it is, you know, when I'm crossing the line, I wouldn't know.
I sat in and had a conversation with them, and they're very intelligent and it's interesting because they discuss the whole kind of far right and what's legal, what's not legal, where it's going with things and stuff. And it would be interesting talking to someone like that.
I wouldn't mind, to be like I said, look, I've been in the country since the last 10 years, right? And I have been a student here, went back to Saudi Arabia, came in on work, I was working here. But I never had any issues. You know, if you run my record, you can see it's a clean record. I don't even have any penalties. You know, no charges, no speeding tickets, absolutely nothing. So obviously I wouldn't want to get in trouble in a way that it will affect me being in the country, because I abide by the rules, and I would absolutely hate if something that I didn't know unknowingly I've said or done, and that comes back to me in a way that...
And not just our word, but things like posting stuff online, to be careful sometimes.
I am usually very careful, I think, but I...
Yeah, I think we just need to be a bit more I know we're doing everything good.
Because there's things like, we got them...
how do you feel about him posting?
I'm 100% behind him, because...
Yeah, but the thing is, behind me, but it is my... Like, you know, I wouldn't bring...
But the thing is, I try, and I'm never minded. I'm always saying, look, there's two sides to every story.
Yeah, no, she's very good. If I give my ex account, my YouTube and my Twitter account to her, she'll probably delete everything. She'll probably delete everything.
I do support what he's doing, because not many Muslims or Pakistanis would come up. Not many would, okay?
Yeah, I haven't seen many at all, yes, you're right.
So, for me, I do support him,
but
as
she
long
supports
as
me, but she got nothing to do with it at all.
But I try to look, I'm a whitey.
Yeah.
And you're a Muslim, you're a Pakistani Muslim, and I'm a whitey.
She always gets
and
worried.
I will get worried, but I do, we have conversations about things as well. And then sometimes I'll say,
one thing I'll tell everybody is, I know, but one thing I'll say, whenever I post anything, I don't ask her. That is 100% my own opinion. Yes, we have conversations, but at the end of the day, I'll just do what I think I want to do. Because like I said, she's very careful, and like I said, I wouldn't bring her into this at all.
But he's honest too. He doesn't, like if it comes across how people think it is, he's not. He's grounded. He sees good in both sides, but I think he gets more frustrated because he actually has physically and seen things on the other side in Muslim countries as well, and he does know personally some of the British Pakistanis, what they have been up to in this country as well. It's not based on making things up for the heck of it. Just to my husband has seen and experienced things on both sides, so I think he just wants to say, look, I love this country, I love the people here. There's good and bad with the white, with the Muslims,
they've called me racist. They've called me racist. I'm a Muslim guy married to a white Welsh. I think she's probably more Welsh than anyone else. She speaks Welsh as well. So, she's from the valleys.
I do.
Yeah, she speaks.
And so it's good.
So I think another thing with that would be, obviously, as I said, I've been here 10 years. I have never ever done any of these things, and I never wanted to be honest, for me, if I went to the Swansea Council that day when they had the meeting with me and they told me, delete your X account, delete your YouTube account, and you can come back to work, because I said no to them. If I wanted to be okay, I want to close my eyes, whatever's happening is fine, call the white people racist, call the Christian fascist, I don't care. But I'm not that type of guy. I could have done that. If I closed my eyes and I would have said to the Muslim people in the basketball team, yeah, I'm deleting my X account, they'd be like, yeah, you're back on the team. And if I told my Swansea Council, yeah, I'll delete everything, they'd be like, yeah, you're back into work. I could have done that very easily, but I just thought morally that was just wrong.
Exactly.